Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm going to talk to you today about how Msimanga has been a very good mayor for Swanee or Pretoria, whichever one you want to call it. And I'm going to, I talked about it in a previous video a little bit, but one of the things that he did was he made meter reading in-source because a lot of people, before he became mayor, they were getting incorrect information on their bills. Either they were being charged too much or they weren't being charged enough, because the meter reading was being outsourced. But the problem was whoever, the previous ANC government, basically what they did was they sold the meter reading to the highest bidder. And, or basically, basically they sold it to the highest bidder, probably whoever paid them the most for the contract. The reason I say this is because there were some incompetent companies running that meter reading before Msimanga became mayor, but he got that fixed to where the meter reading has become a lot more accurate in the city of Swanee. And now there's an argument whether if it should be called Swanee or Pretoria, but what Msimanga wanted to do was he said before the name calling, the city of Pretoria or Swanee, whichever one you want to call it, was not where it needed to be. He wanted to make it a world-class city, and he said developing it and getting rid of a lot of the crime and corruption and creating jobs took place of the name, which was another good thing. And then he also advocated not removing the Paul Kruger statue. Now, what he said he would have liked done was put rocks of Robben Island next to the statue and give that its own memorial, and have so the people of Swanee or Pretoria could come together and have a conversation about history, because what the Paul Kruger statue may mean to one group of people would not mean the same to another group of people. So, one group find out why the statue has positive meaning for the other group, and then one group find out why the statue has negative meaning to the other group. A chance of civil discussion and civil dialogue. And you can find that out on Go to Forum TV, which is one of AfriForum's YouTube networks, and where Ernst Roots interviewed Sally Msimanga back in 2017, January of 2017. And at the time, Sally Msimanga said he had a good relationship with the EFF, that he worked with the EFF and the coalition. I personally thought that was going to change. I wish I was incorrect about this, but unfortunately I'd been correct. The EFF is not somebody you can trust to work in a coalition with, and right now, Sally Msimanga is in some ways paying for it, because the EFF is voting a no-confidence motion on him. Basically, because Sally Msimanga is doing the right thing by suspending a city manager and making sure they have absolute proof of this, but it looks like the city manager took a 12 million rand bribe. I mean, it looks, or a bribe very, very close to that, because it was 12 billion. It was a 12 billion rand contract that he awarded a company that's not well known for the project that they're undertaking in the city. And he gave the manager a chance to explain himself, and the manager really hasn't. So you can't blame that on Msimanga, on Mayor Msimanga. You can't do so. But the EFF takes huge offense to it, so does the ANC, and it's basically like the ANC and the EFF are trying to protect corruption. Also, the mayor of Swanee is entitled to seriously, that's where they stay usually, is like a mansion. But, and it's like huge bills for the taxpayers and everything else, but Msimanga declined to stay in there, just stay in a regular house, and he uses whatever the city bills would take to stay in that house. He's using it for a lot of his programs to develop poor neighborhoods. That's awesome. Anyways, we're with you, Mayor Msimanga. This is an unjust attack by the ANC and the EFF, and we're with you. Hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.